Music in the Cafe, a Lukanette alternate universe month-long fanfiction. Each day will be based on a writing prompt from the Lukanette September 2019 calendar. I do not own this calendar. I will be linking the Tumblr post I found it in the description box below. Thank you for reading, listening, or watching. Please enjoy.
So, this is where it begins. The airport. Away from here and closer to New York, Luca Cofain will go. Closer to the company, closer to his success, closer to his dream. He'd circle back here, Paris. He had roots and grounds here. It's gonna be so weird to open shop and not see you, Marinette told him with a laugh and shining eyes, glimmering with water. I don't really like the idea of not seeing you in the mornings either, Luca said gently. He hugged Marinette tightly. I don't think I like the sound of saying we're shipping you off. It makes it sound like you were in a package and we just tossed you in the mail, Alia said, making everyone laugh. I'd like to not be mail, Luca joked. You know, I was just warming up to you, and now here you are, flying off, Flag remarked cynically. Luca only smiled and read through the statement. I'll be back before you know it, he said. Flag had reached out during the party and decided to open up his heart and let another person in, even in the most shallow of layers. Hey, Songbird! Can you spare a minute away from your fans? Flag stopped Luca during the party. Sure, he said. Flag shoved his hands in the pocket of his leather jacket. Maybe Luca should get one too. They look rather cool, and as a kid he used to have one and wore it everywhere. No, seriously, everywhere. There is barely a picture without him being engulfed in it. Maybe adult Luca needed to invest in one too. I'll be honest with you. I don't like people so much. My girlfriend, Tiki, however, does and wanted me to give you a chance, and in her words, open my blackened heart. Flag rolled his eyes as he spoke, but Luca just nodded. He was good at reading people, and Flag was definitely one of those people that were angsty, edgy, and introverted. Perhaps if they had met in high school, Flag would be that one kid hanging out in the corner, listening to heavy metal and underground alternative through thick headphones that would snap in a sardonic sneer if you passed by too close for comfort. However, unlike those kids, Flag clearly had a more gentle and loving side. It was clear by the way he protectively held his girlfriend by the waist when they entered the cafe with hordes of people. Luca guessed they were right about the whole opposite attracts thing. It certainly was the case for Flag and Tiki, and even him and Marinette. Marinette was outgoing, organized, and structured. Luca was quiet, free-flowing, calm, and had a little bit more chaotic of a way of doing things. I didn't really like you when I first met you the first time. Don't take it personally, you're just a person who breathes. That's all the terms I need to dislike you. However, I'm taking that back. I don't mind you now. No one else was able to convince Marinette to admit that maybe something was wrong and that maybe she needed help. Now we know she has anxiety, so we can help her. All that because of you, so thanks for that. That's the only thank you you'll ever get. Flag stuck out his hand. Truce, he said. Luca smiled and grasped it firm. Truce. Flag barely smiled, but it was enough for Luca. Flag clearly didn't care much for other people, but when he did he care a lot. Everyone was so worried for Marinette, especially Luca himself, but Flag really internalized everything, so it showing through the cracks of his stone-cold facade was pretty concerning, even to such an outsider as himself. Marinette's ex, he was kind of the worst, as we found out. I expect and appreciate that you will not do the same thing as him, Flag said in a lower and more threatening tone. Don't worry, I don't intend to, Luca promised. Marinette hadn't spoken much about her ex-boyfriend, but Luca had gathered that he was a good and caring person, and then changed and became quite toxic the last year and hurt everyone in the process. Good. Flag gave a larger but still not complete smile. Yo, dudes, Nino cried, and he slung his arms around their shoulders collectively. Luca gave the energetic brunette a smile, while Plag just grimaced, but Luca could see the faintest rays in the corner of his mouth, clearly him trying not to smile. Oh, that Plag could try and play the part of darkened and brooding, cynical and sneering, sarcastic and closed-off emo as much as he wanted. But it didn't fool Luca. "Ready to leave?" Marinette whispered as the attendant started calling for people to check in. Luca shook his head. His girlfriend wrapped her arms around him, her small frame trying to encompass his. His cabin was called, and Luca could feel eyes watching him sadly. Handing the attendant his ticket and passport, he was allowed to step out onto the walkway to get to the plane. He turned around once to see everyone waving goodbye. Marinette had a bittersweet smile on. Alia was hugging her and waving her hand. Tiki was wiping at tears. Plag was stone-faced, and Nino was mouthing words, most likely goodbye. He waved back and began the walk to his future. He'd be back soon, and they'd be right there waiting for him.